Okay, hey everybody, it's me. This is a part two of my worst movie based video games. Try to upload this. I had a video before part two, and then I had another part two, and then this camera just started acting up again. So I guess I gotta end up buying another webcam because these problems just keep surfacing in my webcam. But yeah, we get to number 8, which is Die Hard for the NES. This was a terrible game. It was boring. It had terrible controls. It had terrible gameplay, awful music, atrocious AI as the AI just stands there and lets you shoot at it. And half of the time you didn't know what the fuck was going on when you were going through all the elevators. You didn't know where you were supposed to go to or or who you were supposed to talk to. It was just so confusing. And then this was just a horrible game, and I recommend to save you all that trouble to just stay away from this game because you'll be frustrated just like me, Angry Video Game Nerd, and many other people who reviewed this or played this game. It's terrible. It's really that bad. Awful game. We then go to the Blues Brothers for the SNES. I mean, this game had a really good concept, but this game failed miserably as the level designs are pretty bad. The music is okay for a Blues Brothers video game for the SNES, but still pretty bad. The most of the levels or the enemies or what you're supposed to do to the enemies and the power-ups, it's like borrowed from many other classic games, whether it's Sonic the Hedgehog or Super Mario Brothers. They got real lazy with that. And overall, just not a fun game. And I recommend, if you are curious to play this, stay away from this game because this game is pretty bad. We then go to the Fifth Element for the PlayStation 1 console. The game that came out, I believe it was in the 90s, the same time the Fifth Element movie came out. This was pretty bad. The graphics were horrible as the characters just looked so polygon, like really bad polygon. It wasn't even funny. The controls are pretty terrible. The music, although it did kind of match how the movie had the music, still pretty bad. And the AI was pretty dumb and atrocious in this game. And overall, and the camera was pretty bad in this game. And overall, just not a fun game. And I recommend anyone to stay away from this game. We go to the 5th game in this countdown, which some of you are already familiar with, the E.T. for the Atari console. What can I say that many people have already said negative about this game? I mean, this game had terrible controls, awful graphics. You would expect okay graphics for an Atari game, but the graphics in this game were pretty atrocious. The music was pretty bad as it keeps looping over and over again. The same music that you hear from the title screen is the same music you're going to be hearing throughout the whole game. The controls are pretty bad when you try to control E.T. Sometimes you control him, sometimes you end up doing something with him that you didn't expect to do with him, as you end up falling down the cliff, and then when you try to pick him up, he ends up falling down. Just awful. And then the AI is pretty bad in this game, and overall just stay away from this game. You already know about the thing about E.T. with all the copies buried in the desert somewhere in Arizona. Don't need to go into explanation about that, but yeah, that's really how bad this game is, and I pretty much recommend you stay away from this. Number 4, Charlie's Angels. Lazy level designs, awful AI as the AI doesn't really do much or puts up a fight. Awful music in this game, awful character designs as the characters just look really terrible. You got a boring gameplay. It's just so boring. This game is just so bad and boring. It's not even funny. And then bad boss battles, and just overall just not a fun game. I can explain many of the other bad things about this, but I can't do it because it's just how bad this game is. Just stay away from this game. If you have a GameCube and you see this, I mean, if you have the GameCube or you have the old GameCube system, stay away from this, or the PlayStation 2, stay away from this game. Bad game. Sorry about that. We then go to number 3, Batman Forever. Now, when my mom bought this game for me, I was excited. I was like, hey, this is a good game. I mean, this game seems like it's going to be good because I played Batman Returns, I played the original Batman, and Batman seemed to be on a roll with good Batman games. But as soon as I played this game, my mouth just dropped to the floor. As this was just, because I couldn't realize how bad this game was. I mean, you had terrible controls as you try to use Batman's utility belt to get up on top of buildings. Half of the time it doesn't react or anything, and then when it does work and you get up and you get whatever you need to get, you try to go down and you have to press a bunch of buttons to get down. Pretty bad. Bad AI in this game, bad fighting engine in this game, and as it's borrowed from Mortal Kombat 1 and Mortal Kombat 2 and many of the other Mortal Kombat games. Pretty lazy, and just this game is just torture. And I recommend, if you don't want to torture yourself or you don't want to harm yourself, stay away from this game because this is a really horrible game. Number 2 is a game that had a really good idea, but when you played it, it just fell apart. The game I'm talking about is Back to the Future for the NES. This was a bad game. Terrible controls, terrible character. I mean, the character design for Marty is horrible. I don't remember him wearing that black shirt in the movie, and I remember him having a vest, but it didn't look nothing like this Marty. And what was the deal with Marty? Every time he got hit, he had a seizure. I mean, he was just going like this, like he was having a seizure. It didn't make no sense at all. And then everything in this game just tries to kill you. And I don't remember any of the stuff that tries to kill Marty in the movie. And I don't know why they even bother adding that in this game. And the music is pretty bad, as it just keeps looping over and over and over again. You get to the point where you hear the music in this game where you just want to get a gun and you just want to shoot yourself because the music in this game is just bad. Let me give you a sample of it. Yep, that's what that music sounds like, and that you'll be hearing that through the whole entire game. That's pretty much how bad this game is. Awful game. Stay away from it, and then stay away from this game too. Number 1, Bebe's Kids, based off of that movie, that 1991 movie with starring the late Robin. I forgot what his name was, that late comedian. But yeah, this was a terrible game. Terrible controls, as when you try to do something in this game, you end up not doing it, or the controls just aren't responsive at all. Frustrating gameplay. Awful music, as you keep hearing the same music from the first level. You keep hearing it over and over and over again, and then you keep hearing the same music from different stages over and over again, and really just not a fun game at all. And the graphics and the level designs are pretty bad, and overall just not a fun game at all. And I recommend you stay away from this game, as this is one of the worst video games that I've ever played. And unfortunately for me, I had this video game, and when I started playing it, I got bored out of my mind, and I just wanted to just hit my head with get something and hit my head over, get something and just bash my head over with it, because that's how bad this game was. And I couldn't believe that my mom bought this game for me. But my mom, being liking the movie and knowing I liked the movie, she thought, hey, he might like this movie, he might like this video game, let me buy this for him. But boy, was my mom wrong, as I played this game and I wanted to sell this game and just get a hammer and bash this game, because this game just frustrated the hell out of me. That's really how bad this game was, and I recommend you stay away from it. Anyhow, that's giving you my worst movie-based video games. Hope you like my video. You can rate, you can comment, give me a video response. Want to hear what some of you got to say. And until then, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next video. WrestleMania series, my WrestleMania series number 14 and number 15, Friday and Saturday.